Today's video takes an in-depth look at the evolving challenges facing Keir Starmer's leadership within the Labour Party, as his once impressive image begins to reveal significant fractures. When Starmer took the helm, his promises were filled with hope and optimism, aiming to reshape the party and win back public trust. However, as his leadership has progressed, those promises seem increasingly hollow, raising questions about the true direction he is steering the Labour Party towards. Our discussion will focus on the visible shifts in the party's trajectory under his influence, exploring how these changes have begun to distance the Labour Party from its core identity and long-standing values. A major point of contention emerged recently at the Commonwealth Summit, where Starmer's handling of key issues not only spotlighted his own missteps, but also shone a light on the broader challenges troubling the party. These incidents are more than isolated mistakes. They reveal a deeper, systemic struggle that questions the Labour Party's alignment with the people it has traditionally represented. As we analyse the implications of these recent events, we'll examine whether the Labour Party can still credibly position itself as the party of the people in light of Starmer's leadership missteps. This evolving narrative around Starmer and the Labour Party raises broader concerns about the party's future and its ability to maintain its identity in a rapidly changing political landscape. At what was expected to be a straightforward press briefing, Labour leader Keir Starmer faced an unexpected question that struck at the heart of his economic vision for the UK. How do you define workers? His answer, however, sparked immediate controversy, raising concerns about the inclusivity of his stance on the modern workforce. Starmer defined workers strictly as those who earn a monthly wage, a definition that critics argue dismisses a significant portion of today's diverse economy. By excluding individuals who rely on income from investments, stocks, or property rentals, Starmer alienated millions of British citizens who contribute substantially to the economy through alternative means. This narrow interpretation has raised questions about Starmer's understanding of the evolving nature of labour and economic contribution in the 21st century. Many are now questioning whether he truly grasps the breadth of those he claims to advocate for, as his response seemed to reveal an increasingly out-of-touch perspective, risking the alienation of an economically diverse constituency whose contributions go beyond traditional employment structures. Labour leader Keir Starmer has recently faced intense criticism following statements that many have labelled as dismissive and exclusionary, signalling a troubling disconnect between his leadership and a substantial segment of the UK population. These remarks are not simply minor gaffes, but rather reflect a deeper divide that could hinder Labour's efforts to broaden its appeal. According to recent data, approximately 12% of UK adults hold shares, and around 2.5 million individuals are landlords, collectively forming a significant demographic that contributes to the nation's economy, both through investments and the property market. Landlords play a vital role in the rental sector, addressing housing needs, while shareholders fuel business growth and economic resilience. By dismissing the concerns of these groups, Starmer risks alienating a politically and economically influential demographic, a move that could have serious consequences for Labour's strategy. This perceived disregard has ignited a wave of discontent, with critics arguing that it not only undermines Starmer's credibility, but also casts doubt on the Labour Party's capacity to represent the interests of a diverse and financially conscious voter base. The backlash has been swift, and analysts suggest that this misstep could severely impact Starmer's leadership, as well as Labour's ability to secure broad support in future elections, potentially marking this as a lasting blunder in Starmer's political career. Recent polling data shows declining support from various voter groups, putting the Labour Party on uncertain footing as the upcoming election nears. Starmer's inability to broadly define workers raises deeper concerns about Labour's policies and its stance on economic issues. With tax plans still unsettled, Labour's approach toward middle-class workers and small landlords appears increasingly conflicted. The party's assurances to shield workers from tax increases seem hollow, especially as the Chancellor prepares for a substantial tax hike of up to £35 billion, the largest in 3 decades. For middle-class citizens and small property owners, Labour's contradictory tax policies risk fostering growing disillusionment. Labour's internal divisions are compounding the party's troubles, as recent reports reveal deep-seated tensions among its MPs over the leadership and direction under Sir Keir Starmer. Rumblings of discontent have surfaced, with some party members feeling that Starmer has distanced Labour from its core values and working-class roots, prioritising a centrist approach that, they argue, neglects the party's original base. These concerns are sparking whispers of a potential leadership challenge, hinting at a widening rift within Labour's ranks. Starmer's leadership, critics suggest, has lacked cohesion, a shortfall that has intensified frustrations and left the party vulnerable to further fragmentation. This internal strife comes at a critical juncture where trust and stability are paramount in British politics. For many, Starmer's recent decisions and perceived drift from Labour's traditional identity have not only disappointed loyal members but have also begun to alienate portions of the electorate. The latest polling figures underscore this disillusionment, with Labour's standing suffering under the weight of these unresolved issues. Now, more than ever, Labour must reconcile these divides and unify its message to restore voter confidence, as it risks losing its footing in the public's eye at a pivotal time. Labour leader Keir Starmer's recent efforts to present himself as an everyman, donning high-visibility jackets and hard hats in various public appearances, have been met with scepticism, with critics calling his approach staged and unconvincing. This attempt to adopt a man-of-the-people persona has drawn attention away from substantial policy issues and instead placed a spotlight on whether the leader's image overhaul aligns with the party's core commitments. As Labour revisits its definition of working people, there are indications that the term may be stretched to include shareholder and landlord demographics, a potential reclassification that would pave the way for heightened tax contributions from these groups. This expanded definition, while ostensibly part of a broader fiscal strategy, raises questions about Labour's pledge to safeguard working-class interests. Observers are left wondering whether this shift represents a pragmatic broadening of the party's support base or a troubling departure from its foundational mission to champion traditional Labour rights. Keir Starmer and the Labour Party find themselves at a critical juncture, facing challenges that will test both their resilience and ability to adapt to an evolving political landscape. After a series of missteps and internal divisions, Starmer must work to rebuild unity within a party that has become increasingly fragmented, with different factions and ideologies pulling in various directions. His task extends beyond simply mending these rifts. He must also engage a public that has grown disillusioned with traditional politics and is calling for real, tangible change. To regain the trust and enthusiasm of voters, Labour may need to embrace grassroots movements and promote a more inclusive, open dialogue within its ranks. This approach could provide the party with a renewed sense of direction and purpose, connecting with communities that feel overlooked and addressing issues that resonate deeply across the nation. Yet, the challenges ahead remain complex, with UK politics rapidly evolving and new forces shaping public opinion. Labour's ability to project a unified and forward-looking vision will be essential. If Starmer and his team can navigate these obstacles and present a compelling alternative to the current political status quo, Labour could emerge as a formidable power once again. However, a failure to unite and adapt could lead to a diminished role on the national stage, leaving Labour in a precarious position. What's your perspective on the future of Labour under Starmer's leadership? Share your views in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest insights into UK politics. Thank you for joining the conversation, and we look forward to continuing this discussion in our next video.